Hi there, friends, and welcome to Raving with Rua here on Songs from the Rua Room, my YouTube channel dedicated to singer-songwriters from around the world. How are you all doing? It's Sunday, the 19th of January here, and you're all very welcome. Great to see you all. Thank you for tuning in. A very special guest for you today, all the way over there in California. Her name is Jen Hajj, and we'll talk to Jen in a moment. As always, folks, if you're watching live, please drop us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching on the YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the old bell as well. You'll get notifications and won't miss a thing. If you would like to, you can always drop a few shekels into the virtual tip jar there as well, and all those links are down below. And yeah, links as always from the website. My website is theruaroom.com. Again, you'll see that there in the links below. I'm broadcasting directly to Facebook as well. If anybody's on there live, please drop us a comment. Let us know where you are, how you are, wherever you are in the world. Tonight's stream, as always, brought to you by the great people there of G-Sharp Guitars, the world's finest travel electric guitars. Check them out in the links below as well there, please. So yeah, I hope you're all fine and well. I'm going to hit the magic button and head over, all going to plan, to talk to the great Jen Hajj, who is in California. Are you there, Jen? She is. Hi,
Hi.
Jen. Hi, Jen. I had you on mute there. How's it going?
I am very well today. It's a beautiful
Uh,
day.
it is. Is it sunny in California?
Yeah, it's about noon. So, beautiful sun. And it's a great day. It's not too cold. I live up in the mountains, up in the forest. And
Do you?
so,
Ah,
uh,
that's great. So
yeah.
you're kind of a little bit away from the mad crowds of California.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It feels like
What's
another planet,
what's the name of
actually.
your town?
It's called Idlewild.
Oh, that's a great name for a town, isn't it?
Sure is.
Idlewild. It sure is. Yeah, well, thanks for being here today with us, Jen. Much appreciated. It's noon there. It's around 9 o'clock p.m. here in Belgium. It's great that the modern technology allows us to do this.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's like, even just even 2 years ago, you really couldn't do it like this. So
That's
I'm
true.
just totally amazed.
It's
And
cool, isn't
you
it?
manage it so well. I mean, there's all these little things going on the screen, and I know that that's all you. So
There is. It's a kind of a one man operation, but it's yeah. It's my first time to do it. This is episode 12 of the whole thing as part of as part of one of the playlists on the channel. Something I've been trying out. It's a great way for me to reach other singer songwriters, across the
mhm.
world. When I can't bring them into the studio here in Belgium and record them, I get a chance to talk to them. California, for example,
Mhm.
it's great. How cool!
It
How
is.
cool!
It's very cool.
So yeah, I want to talk to you about songwriting and your story, Jan. This is the drill here.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the beginning and kind of where it started for you, how you got into music, and was it always there? Did it come later? And songwriting.
I've always been a choir girl, and always had music as a part of my life. My parents started me on piano lessons at an early age, and
Hmm.
so music was always there.
Yeah.
And then I went to college and got a career, and just kind of like forgot that music was a part of me.
Wow.
And then when I was about 35, it exploded and took over my life. How it does,
As it
when you.
does sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that one of the things that was sort of a trigger for me was, um, I was invited to be a volunteer for a folk music festival, and I was invited to go and see the singer-songwriter competition that was going on there. And there were a couple artists there who sang something. It was just the
Mm.
perfect thing for me to hear right then and there. Mitch Barrett was there. He did Drop in the Bucket. That was one song that just really resonated with me.
Yeah.
Ed Randall Williams did Stronger for Your Flame,
Yeah.
and that just slayed me. And and then I thought, oh my God, I want to do that. I want to
Yes.
be on that stage doing that.
Exactly that.
Yes. And
And this is
so,
when you were around 35 years old at that stage, were you?
yeah.
Yeah. And that's, of course, that's Randall Williams is our kind of common denominator there. I mean, we almost met in real life
Yeah,
before.
almost.
Well, it's through Randall, of course, and Kaiser Capos and all that
Yep.
stuff. And um, so
You'll get a kick out of this. This is my capo jar.
no way. I love it. Oh, well, let me put that on full screen. So go back and let me see that again on
Okay.
full screen. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Your capo jar. Wow. I don't
Yeah.
even have a
And
capo jar. I have a lot of capos too, but I need to
this
get
is
a capo jar.
this is the first one. I bought this from Randall at that folk festival, and now I'm his bitch forever.
Yeah, amazing because it's also a double color, so it's one of those special ones. I have one too, which is kind of a dual color. You know, they're kind of not all the one color, and they're very special. They're kind of collector's items in the capo world. Capo Kaiser just celebrating their 40th anniversary, believe it or not,
Wow.
this year. Because I know you've always been involved in the partial capo stuff as well. You love the half capos and the open deep
Yeah.
capos. Yeah, was
It
it Randall that
really,
got you into that, or?
yeah. And it made things really possible for me. Because when I first started the guitar, I was very frustrated by the sounds that came out of it. They were not always consonant. And because, like, you play a D chord, and if you play all of the strings when you play a D chord, it sounds like crap.
Yeah, dude.
And
Yeah,
I wasn't good enough at the time to realize that I could play the strings I wanted to play and
yeah,
not the bad ones. Um, and so having the partial capo where you put it and everything sounds good. There are no bad notes,
that's right.
and it takes off the whole burden of having to know stuff. You could just play something and, oh, well, that sounds good. I'll do that again.
It
And
does. Yeah.
yeah, it just really helped me a lot as I was learning. And then it's been a tool that I've kept because, why get rid of a good thing?
Yes, it opens the door. It does open the door. You can be quite a good guitarist, and it still opens doors to different sounds and melodies and a little bit of lead playing. So you don't have to be an amateur musician to use an open capo. In fact, some people have made a career out of just using partial capos and yeah, capo techniques. I think it's
Yes.
I think it's a great they're a great tool, absolutely great tool
Yes.
to have in the
One
box.
everyone should have in their box.
And I'm going to get a capo jar now after seeing yours. Yeah, I am. I have to do it. It's just it's lovely, lovely, lovely. Well then, let's. So yeah, so you were around 35 years old when it kind of kicked off, and you said, okay, this is what I want to be doing, and from there on, then you just what did you do? Did you start writing songs? Were you writing songs already?
I was sort of writing songs already. I was writing poetry, but all of the poems had tunes that went with them, whether I learned them that way or not. So it was really easy for me to go from poetry to song.
Mm.
And a lot of my songs do have a lot of, like, images and poetic thoughts, and not
Yeah,
it's I don't do a lot of things that are very literal, um, and
you
and so that's
you prefer it to be more kind of abstract, I suppose, or
yeah, or starting with a metaphor, and not really ever coming out and saying what it is that you're saying.
yeah.
um,
That's a style. A lot of people do that way.
Sure. I've received criticism from certain songwriters in retreats and stuff. They're like, "Why don't you just say what you're trying to say?" And I'm like, "But it's not beautiful that way." You-
Yeah, it kind of removes the poetry and yeah, it does
yeah. And I
sometimes.
I think as a songwriter, what I'm trying to do is to express things that I find beautiful, or things that I'm trying to figure out,
Yeah,
you know. And so I think poetry works well for that.
yeah, absolutely. Of course, I mean, I don't think lyrics should be a little different, I think, than poetry. You know, if you know what I mean. There should be kind of a crossover, I think. But it just you're not necessarily, not all lyrics work as poetry, and not all poetry works as lyric, of course, as you know. So
Yeah, well, and when you start adding things like rhythm and melody to a lyric, you know, you can get away with stuff that you really couldn't get away with if it
yeah,
were just a standalone poem. You know, rhythm, if you've got strong rhythm, you can get away with near rhymes or no rhymes at all.
indeed, songs don't have to rhyme. That's what people forget
No.
that sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of songs, I was, you know, because the interweb doesn't always allow um, music to come across as strongly as it does. I started using these YouTube videos, you know, try to find some nice live moments on YouTube, and I found a couple on your channel, and one is at Kulaks, is that right? Is that in Los Angeles?
Kulak's Woodshed in yeah, it's I think the Hollywood area.
Ah,
Cute little place.
it looked
It's
lovely. Yeah,
it,
amazing.
it's nothing when you park outside. It's just kind of, you know, you have no idea what's inside, and you go inside and it's like this amazing decorated garage space, and they have some amazing tech in there. They've got several cameras. They've
Yeah,
got
it's
a
shot so
amazing
well.
sound booth, and they can produce a video for you right then and there. They do a couple of songwriter nights a week where you can go and you pay a little bit of money and you can get the video, and it's so professionally done and so beautiful. Um, and you can even rent the space and do a full concert there and video the whole thing.
Wow, it looks really great. The first song, I think there may be two songs in this video. The first one is called what?
I think this is Love is Everywhere.
Love is Everywhere. Indeed it is. So let's give that a spin. Do you want to say anything about the song before we play it, or?
This was I write a Christmas song every year, and this was my Christmas song for 2011.
You write
Even though
just
it
a
has
song every
nothing at
year,
all,
do you?
it
Wow.
doesn't have anything at all to do with Christmas, but
It's a beautiful
that's
song, and this is a beautifully shot video. The sound is great as well. Kulaks what? Kulaks Shed. What did you call it?
Kulak's Woodshed.
Kulaks Woodshed. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Let's have a listen to this song, guys.
Thank you. It's in the melody of your favorite song. It's in the harmony as others sing along. It's in the voices of the choir, loud and strong. Love is everywhere. It's in the soaring of legato of the horn. It's in the slow and steady heartbeat of the drum. It's in the hollow sadness of the requiem. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. You don't have to go far to find it, 'cause it is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. You don't have to go far to find it. No. It's in the handwork of the artist, finely wrought. It's in the lessons of the classroom, wisely taught. And it's in all the things we once knew but forgot. Love is everywhere. It's in the picture on the wall. It's in the frame. It's in the target that you shoot at. It's in the aim. It's in the space between the letters of your name. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Love is It's the joy in you, the joy in me greets. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. You don't have to go far to find it, 'cause it is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. You don't have to go far to find it. No. Thank you.
Round of applause. Beautiful
Thanks
song,
so
Jen
much.
Hajj. That's absolutely lovely.
When I was a kid.
Absolutely. When did you? Do you remember writing that song?
I do. It first started. I got it in my car. I was driving to work, and the first couple of things came to me in the car, and it was one of those things where you repeat it to yourself over and over again until you get someplace where you can stop so you can write it down.
And
And
that's how it came out.
yeah, I have to admit, I might have spent that morning writing that song at work instead of working.
Yeah, you might. You might have.
I might have.
Fantastic. Sylvia's here. You got a heart there from Sylvia Lumen.
Hello, Sylvia.
And Anne Nagin is here from Belgium. Hi there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate your comments and your love.
Mwah.
Thanks for that, folks. Yeah, so wonderful song indeed. Now, we tell me about your connection with my country era, Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we nearly met.
Yeah, it's where we nearly met. Crazy. There was a point in time where I was getting onto Sonic Bids, and I was trying out for every single contest and opportunity that was available in songwriting, and spending too much money because Sonic Bids, blah. But there was one of those things there that really caught my eye. It was the listening room retreats with Brett Perkins.
Yeah.
And he had a contest where he was giving away a free spot on one of his retreats. And he had retreats at the time. They were in many different places. There was one in California. There was one in Ireland and a couple other places. And I thought, if I get this thing, I think I want to go to the one in Ireland. And it's probably my heritage. I think that on my dad's side, there were a fair number of Irish people who came across and settled in America. So, it's something that I've, been curious about for a long time, wanted to learn more about Ireland. And I've always loved the music. Anytime I hear any kind of Irish trads going on, my toe starts tapping and, there is something inside my body that responds to that in a big way.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone there. I think that's a kind of a general consensus when it comes to our music and heritage. Yeah.
So the first time I applied, I got it was like a half off or something like that. And I thought, I don't really want to pay half to go. I want it free. So I applied again and again. And finally, I think I just wore Brett down.
That's the only way to deal with Brett Perkins. Wear him down.
The girl clearly wants to do one of my retreats. I'm going to give her one. And so I think he wanted me to do the one in California. And I think he was a little bit surprised that I chose Ireland, but I did. And I would say that experience of attending his retreat in Ireland just completely changed my life and the direction of my songwriting. It introduced me to co-writing So, this is writing with others, and it was something I had never really considered before that time, and I was actually pretty frightened of before that
Hmm.
time. But it was a really safe environment in which to write with a lot of people, and I wrote with every single songwriter on that retreat. Um,
Every
and
single one.
every single one, and
Wow.
it wasn't a big group. There were like 8 of us, but I made the time, and I have a nice little collection of
But that
songs
would
that
have
I wrote.
been like, yeah, it would have been a song a day then, pretty much, no?
Yeah, and a couple of people, I was not assigned to write with everyone, so I had to make time to write with everyone. There was one day where we had the option to take the day off, and so I flagged down one of the songwriters and said, "Let's write today."
Hmm.
And then when it was over, I was staying over for a couple of extra days, and so I made appointments with each of the songwriters that I hadn't written with, and had opportunities to write with them, and some beautiful things came out of it.
I can
Yeah.
imagine. Was that where you met our buddy Martin Notorious Pretorius for the first
Yes.
time, or was that later?
Yeah. Yeah,
It
no, that
was.
was there. Yeah, it was
Was it? What?
2014, the
2014.
Ireland songwriting retreat.
Yeah.
And yeah, we knew we wanted to write together the whole time. And on the last day, we had the opportunity to request someone to write with. And so I requested Martin, and he requested me, and we were not assigned to write with one another.
That's such a great story. And was that because another song I've lined up here is called January? Was that a song from that retreat, or was that a later song?
That was later.
That was
So,
later.
after the first song that we wrote together was called "Be Gentle with My Heart," and we wrote it just wandering around the streets of Galway. We got cold, and we went into the children's library, and we finished the song in the library, which I think was hilarious.
It's a beautiful
Um,
song. Yeah.
and then we wanted someone to hear it, so we packed up the guitars and we walked to the radio station, hoping that the radio station would let us in. It would play us on the radio, which was how naive is that? Uh,
You gotta try these things sometimes, and see. You never know. But
you
in
never
Ireland,
know.
yeah, in Ireland that could well happen. You could just say, let's do it.
It's like a big small town, right?
It is very much so. Yeah,
That's
for
part of its appeal.
part of its charm. I
Yeah.
know. But that is also a great song, folks. If you can find that, I don't know. You have your website is jenhajj.com. I suppose all your music and all of your tour dates will be are linked from that.
I think so. Yeah.
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 Excuse me.
But yeah, we've gotten together since we wrote that song. We get together about once a year, sometimes more, and we write more songs. And we've just started
Yeah.
working on getting good recordings of those songs too, because you cannot record a song in this format, online, where you've got one person one place
No,
and one
it's
person another.
yeah.
You have to, when it's a duo and you're singing together, you just really have to be in the same room. So we've been doing some of that.
Certainly. Well, maybe, I don't know if we can, but maybe through the power of modern technology later on, maybe after this song, we can see if Notorious Pretorius is on, because I did a live stream with Martin a few weeks ago. So I don't know if we can bring him in. Maybe we can, if he's watching there, perhaps.
Yeah,
I can, I
maybe.
can, I'll send him the link, and maybe we can bring him in and have a chat.
Let
The
us
three of us.
know,
Let
Martin,
us
if
know
you're
if
out
you're there.
there.
Yeah, we absolutely. But look, in the meantime, why don't we play that song? Let's have a look at
January?
listen to January, because you wrote this together,
Hmm.
and it's a lovely song. Martin also played it on his live stream, and I like it a lot. So here is January, written by Jen Hajj and Martin Pretorius, folks. And it's a great little song, apt for the time of year.
January.
As winter slowly creeping across the land, I think it's gonna linger more than 100 days. Maybe time to stock the pantry shelves with food and human kindness and other useful smiley faces are now gazes turning colder, can't be melted with a smile. Turning up my collar to brace against the weather and the bitterness of it all. January, you've never been a friend of mine. I always thought the darkest time of year hasn't arrived till you are here. January, your Christmas lights are fading fast. A blacker cloud has come to cast its shadow on the times we're living in. All I wanna do is hunker down, go into hibernation, and wait for spring to come. Forget the frozen driveway, bundle up, scrape the hoarfrost from the windshield. It's not a time to hide. Scattered across the countryside, the signal fires are burning, calling out to kindred souls. Face the whipping wind, make sure no one is forgotten. We are many, we are not alone. January, you've never been a friend of mine. I always thought the darkest time of year hasn't arrived till you are here. January, your Christmas lights are fading fast. A darker cloud has come to cast its shadow on the times we're living in. We need light for the times we're living in. We need light for the times we're living in.
What a great line there. We need light for the times we're living in.
We
Jen
do.
Hajj and Martin Pretorius. Lovely song, folks. Absolutely. Do you know who that is there saying lovely song? That is my mother in Ireland.
Oh my gosh. I have to look
Hi,
at it because I
Mom.
can't read
There's
without my
Dolores.
glasses.
She
Hi,
jumped in there to
Mom.
say, yeah. And Chris Link there is over in Germany as well. The song fits perfectly into my mood. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. It's a great seasonal song and a great mood song.
Thank you.
And was that was a more recent co-write with Martin, was it?
Yeah, we wrote that. I guess it was 2017. As a response to the political situation in the States.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other live stream, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
And
Crazy stuff going on there.
nice use of poetry to say what you need to say without actually saying it, you know?
Yes.
Um,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Beautiful song. Listen, I think we have Martin in the stream. Let's try and bring in your co-writer. I think he's in Germany. You never know with him. He could be anywhere in the world. This
Oh my
hardcore
God.
troubadour. Let's see
This
if
would
this
be
works.
great.
First time for everything, guys. Here it goes. Oh, look at him.
it's a three-way!
How you doing?
Can
That's
you
not
hear
what I
me?
want. Yeah, I think we
Yes.
can hear you pretty well.
Hi, Martin.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing
I,
good. Glad you could join us.
Yeah, glad you could join us indeed.
This
How are
is
you
the
keeping?
It's the closest thing to being on the telly for me, so I just couldn't resist it.
Are you in Germany?
I am actually in Germany. I'm in Hamburg. I can actually not hear myself. Wait a minute. Oh, that's better.
Yeah, that better.
I'm in
You can hear
Hamburg.
us anyway.
Yeah,
Ah, we don't.
Ah,
Yeah, as long as we can hear you,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
main thing.
Well, I got to hear myself because it's getting it's weird if you can. But yeah, I'm in Germany. I'm Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year to you too.
Haven't
We
seen
we
each other.
yeah, it's great to see you. You know, Germany,
Yeah.
Belgium, California. Look at that. All the technology. How cool is that?
It's the best.
Great.
It's really great. So you and Jen meet regularly at this stage now in Ireland, Martin. You try and hook up and perform as much as you can.
We do. It's a bit of a challenge with that big pond between us, but and I haven't really made the effort yet to get over to the States and visit Jen on her home turf. But
Yeah.
she's been visiting me quite frequently, and we've met twice in Ireland since the initial retreat 2014. So yeah, we do get
So you do, and tell us about this new project you're working on together. Then I saw I was following your Facebooks, and you were mentioning that you're gonna write songs together, maybe even record together. What's that all about?
Yeah. Well, I went to Germany for Christmas, and then we had the opportunity to get together for a few days and
Hmm.
do some recording and do some demos of some of the songs that we haven't recorded yet, or don't have any kind of record of really.
Yeah.
And so we spent, was it what, 3 or 4 days,
yeah.
Martin, just recording.
It was basically what we did is we actually rehearsed, and because it's such a great thing actually being in the same room together and singing those songs together. The last one we wrote, we actually started in the hostel in Doolin in Clare. We we got on with it in that night in Dublin, at Helen's
Yeah.
house, and we finished it. Uh, via the net when Jen was back in California and I was somewhere, So this song has been on in 3 or 4 different countries already. So, but
It's done the rounds, like, yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we've never actually sang it together until we met after Christmas, and so we did a lot of fine tuning really of our vocal performance, and recorded a few demos.
Yeah.
And the idea really would be to try, which is quite unusual these days, to get a record company behind that,
Yes.
and create a bit of a budget, and
And make it happen
hopefully,
financially. Yeah.
yeah, and hopefully bring these songs together back to where they originated, like.
Yeah. Or they began.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, we're hoping to go to Ireland to record the record.
Oh, wouldn't that be sweet? Kind of back to where it
Yeah,
all began.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's basically closing a circle that has begun 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you feel about all that, Jen? Is it? She said it's kind of a big deal for you because it's where it started for you, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's great to see these songs, you know, become a physical thing in the world, and not just an idea. You know, when you're writing online,
Yeah.
back and forth, yeah, writing duets, and you can't sing them together, you can't play them together, you have no idea what they even sound like. They're just ideas. So I love that we can make them real.
Yeah.
And I just love the idea of doing it in Ireland because, that is where everything started. And they all have sort of like that Irish thread going through them. There is this Irish sound in those songs just lingering and hoping to be brought to light. So
Yeah. My first time I met Martin before I even spoke to you, but I can also feel in Martin the Irish connection. Immediately I can feel the Irish spirit in him. So I think it's a good match. With both of you. I mean, kindred spirits, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
My Irish
Yes.
brother in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
I do. Yeah, I would
yeah.
agree with that. Yeah, he's a great old love for my homeland too. Does Martin? He does.
I do.
And he's on the other here, slancha. Oh no,
Slancha.
no, now I want whiskey. I'm a terrible man. Now, you're putting the long one on me now, and I can't leave. I'm in the middle of a professional live stream, guys. I'm drinking. Oh look, Martin Baturi, sponsored by Jameson. Yeah, I know. I'm only on the tea.
What a great idea! Oh my God, we need
Here
to
we
ask
go, guys.
Jamison for some money.
We do. We need to do that.
Yeah.
We do, absolutely.
Well, we got a song about liquor, so I don't know if they like it, but
No. Andy Dunlop says hello from Skyline Frankfurt in Germany, by the way, there, guys. Just
hi there.
Andy's dropping in. I don't know if you know Andy, but he's watching live anyway from Frankfurt. Hi, Andy. Thanks for joining us. Very nice of you to drop by. So yeah, so the plan is anyway to get these songs out. Is there a time frame in mind, or is it just kind of see how it goes and let's put them out when they're ready?
I have a tentative agreement from my boss that I can take a month and work from a remote location. And so the tentative thought is August in Ireland. It does depend on a couple things on my end, but I'm working towards it.
All right. And Martin will just go with the flow, I suppose. Just,
Yep.
that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
If
Just work. We'll all work around Jen. That's the way to go.
I think that the universe does revolve around me sometimes.
I think it should. I think it should.
Not really.
It does, Martin. Just say yes, Martin. Just nod and say yes.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely, Jen.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Brilliant. I'm so great you could join us here, Martin. It's lovely to touch base with you again. Martin
Thanks
has
for having me.
Martin has his own live stream here. We did a chat and a few songs a few weeks ago, so check out Martin Pretorius here on Raving with Rue as well. I'm going to have another song and a chat with Jen, but listen, take care of yourself, Martin, and thanks for dropping by.
Thanks for having me.
Much appreciated.
Bye. See you later.
Bye-bye, Martin.
Bye.
So how cool is that?
That's so cool.
That was a first for me as well to have the Martin come in like that, and how nice. Yeah, brilliant. He's great. He's always so enthusiastic about the songs and what he does. He's really dedicated to it. So fair play to you, Martin, for doing what you do. He's a great songwriter. But I want to go back and play a song from Kulaks again. Maybe the second song. From that, I don't know if we're getting a little bit of interference on the stream on the YouTube stream, but anyway, I think it's coming across okay. So let's try a screen share of that, and a bright blue dot, is that what it's?
Pale blue dot.
Pale blue
yeah,
dot.
it's after a essay that was written by Carl Sagan.
Oh, okay, and that's what inspired the song, was it?
Yeah, it's my I took what he wrote and I kind of filter it through me and how I say things, but it's basically the same idea that this is home and there ain't no other.
It's the only one we got. Fantastic. Well, let's listen to it, Jenna. It's also a great song and recorded very well in Kulaks. Let's go for it.
And just before it went out of radio range, he had it turn around and take a picture of home. A mote of dust suspended on a sunbeam, a point of light, a pale blue dot. And everyone we've ever known or ever even heard of is on that point of light, a pale blue dot. All the lives of history, written and unwritten, great cities that rose and fell again. All big or small, are on that portion of a fraction of a corner of a pixel of a point of light. A pale blue dot, a mote of dust suspended on a sunbeam, a point of light, a pale blue dot. Hunters, heroes, lovers, cowards, and makers and destroyers, all points of light on a pale blue dot. All the cruelties we inflict, the rivers of blood, of self-important posturing for mastery, all of our delusions of grandeur are challenged by this portion of a fraction of a corner of a pixel of a point of light. A point of dust suspended on a sunbeam, a point of light, a pale blue dot. We're all alone in darkness with no other place to go, stuck to that point of light, pale blue dot. The only home we'll ever know, a cool light shining softly under a blanket of darkness for no one but each other. Is it beautiful or bleak? You decide. On this portion of a fraction of a corner of a pixel of a point of light, a pale blue dot. To paraphrase Carl Sagan, the universe is really big and we're really small. And the only way that we can cope with that fact is to love deeply. If you believe that, sing along with me. Choose kindness, choose love, choose to cherish the pale blue dot. Choose kindness, choose love, choose to cherish the pale blue dot. Choose kindness, choose love, choose to cherish the pale blue dot. Choose kindness, choose love, choose to cherish that portion of a fraction of a corner of a pixel of a point of light, a pale blue dot. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, the pale blue dot, the only one we got. I wrote that just now.
That's really good. I think you could win a song contest.
I
with
got
that.
it. I think I could. You have a beautiful singing voice, Jen, and I love your
Thank you.
songwriting. I don't know how well it's coming across if we're getting interference there on the YouTube playbacks. That's we're at the mercy of the interweb, so I don't know, but I think people who know what good singing is will get the point. That you're really great, and they should try and catch a show whenever they can.
Thank you.
Sounds wonderful. What's coming up for you? Have you got shows? You have
Well,
releases?
I have an EP that's coming out this week. I'm really excited about it. It's 5 songs that I've recorded up here in Idlewild at MTG Studios with Mike Gustin, and really excited that that's finally coming to fruition. That's something that has been on my plate for a long time.
Super.
And so I'm finally getting it out. I hope to have CDs with me at my next gig, which will be at the Space Coast Bird Festival in Florida. It's
The
a
Space
strange
Coast
venue for
Bird Festival.
it's a whole other part of my life. I coordinate an event for bird watchers in San
Ah,
Diego,
beautiful.
and people who go to these events, they go to lots of them. So
Yeah.
it makes sense if you run an event to go to other people's events to meet people, and so I get to go and play a little bit of my music at this one. So very excited
Wonderful.
for that.
Great. And again, folks, everybody can catch your shows on jenhajj.com, and
Yes.
it's all always updated. But that's great. Well, the best of luck with the EP. I wanna play one more song before we sign off. And I was just going through some of your old archive stuff, and I came across this lovely song, just simply called "Thank You," and apparently it was recorded at a festival in 2011, Avenue Street Fair.
Oh, the Avenue Street Fair.
Tell me
Yeah.
about that. That looks like a lovely
That's a fun
place.
venue. That's in Salt Lake City, and it's an annual festival that they do. I used to live in Salt Lake, and
Ah.
that may have been, well, it wasn't my first gig there, but it might have been my first solo gig there at that particular festival, at a younger and thinner time. But, but my friend Raj did that video, and it's pretty good for a live video.
It is. I think the sound is lovely, and the performance is lovely. So, it's simply called "Thank You." Maybe a good one to finish on, a good song to finish on, to say
I think
thank
so.
you.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a quick play, and then I'll come back and thank you properly. How's that?
Okay.
This is Jen Hajj.
I hold you in the highest esteem because of who you are and what you've been for me. The dreams I dare to dream are such a gift. You're just being you and doing what you do. That's so beautiful to me. I wanna thank you. How can I ever thank you? You took me to the edge of what I thought I knew. And though our paths may never cross again, I feel such gratitude. I always consider you my friend. Oh, you're just being you, doing what you do. And that's so beautiful to me. I want to thank you. How can I ever thank you? Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Jen Hajj.
Oh.
So beautiful. Absolutely lovely song, and that's from 2011. That show, apparently, according to the
A
video.
while
Wow,
ago.
great. And you still sing that song? Is it one of your songs you still play, or is it?
I do
Sometimes songs kind
occasionally.
of, yeah,
Yeah.
songs kind of come
That's
in and out of our
one.
lives. Yeah,
Yeah, that's one I do bring out occasionally, especially when I'm in when I know that there's someone in the audience who has taught me something amazing in my life that has put me where I am now. I like to bring that one out, and
yeah,
yeah,
beautiful song.
yeah,
Tell me about that guitar in that video. Is that the same guitar you're still playing? It looks like a
yeah.
hand built.
Yeah,
guitar, is
that's
it?
it's a Miller, built by a guy named David Miller, who lives in Salt Lake City, I think, still. And he builds these just gorgeous guitars, and then he brings them to songwriter open mics, and he comes to the songwriters after they've
That's
played and
clever. Gets
says,
them hooked on his guitar.
"Your guitar is not pretty enough for you."
Oh, that's just clever.
And then he lets you borrow the guitar for like 2 weeks. So
Until
you
you're
fall
really
in
hooked
love.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a Miller. I love it. That's my workhorse guitar. I really like
Beautiful
to take
sound of
that
it.
places.
Really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have it there beside you by any chance? No, it's probably
Mm.
packed away somewhere.
No,
But
it's over
yeah, it's
there.
all right. Yeah, just sometimes guitar geeky stuff.
Yeah.
But look, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know you've songs to write, EPs to release, dogs to feed.
Hey,
Is he there with you? No.
she's curled up
She's
and
over there
sleeping.
sleeping.
So
Yeah,
I gotta let her
she's very-
lie.
Yeah, have you one or two dogs or?
I just have one.
Yeah, what's her
Yeah.
name?
Buzzy.
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 Sweet.
Yeah, she's a cutie pie.
She's a cutie pie. But look, I want to thank you very, very much for taking the time out to talk to us today.
Thank you, Doggy.
All
I
the way.
really appreciate you bringing me on and spending some time. It's really cool to talk with you and learn more about you. And
Well, we'll
yeah.
we'll talk again probably in private another time when we have.
I want to meet you in person someday.
Well, in person, yeah. That's what I mean. As soon as you come over this neck of the woods, you must be over in Europe again soon, sometime.
Yeah.
I know you're over and back, so I'll keep stalking you on social media and find out
I'll do the same.
through you or Martin where you are, and I'll just show up, and we'll play guitars and maybe drink whiskey with Pretorius.
I love it. Okay.
Thanks to Martin as well, by the way, for joining us there for a few minutes to tell us about your duo project. That sounds really great, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon, Jenny. And thanks again.
Thank you,
And have a
Doggy.
happy New Year. Thanks for
Happy
being
New
here.
Year.
All the best.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Right, folks, there you go. The lovely and talented Jen Hajj, all the way from California, joining us today on Raving with Rua. Thank you all to the live viewers as well who joined us and left some comments there. We much appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, again, please feel free to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. And of course, to G-Sharp Guitars for sponsoring the stream tonight. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again soon on the next Raving with Rua.